I've been trying to get a used PlayStation 5 controller lately, and it seems like all the used controllers that I get have some sort of a stick drift. Even the ones off eBay that I bought and the description says that it's tested and it works perfectly, it still arrived with stick drift. I mean, like, come on, like, can you not get a used PlayStation 5 controller nowadays that's just working fine? Even this controller I bought off eBay, the description clearly said that it's tested and it works fine. But when I received it, it had stick drift. Even these two I bought a couple weeks ago arrived with crazy stick drift, even though the description said that they've been tested and they work fine. It just seems that we can't get away from stick drift. And I'm not just talking for PS5, also Xbox. So I've decided to do an updated video on fixing the stick drift. But before that, I just want to talk a little bit on what causes stick drift and actually how much time do you have to play on a new controller to develop a stick drift. In addition, I found the spec sheet for the controller modules that are in these controllers, RKJXV, and it shows that the operating life is 2000 cycles, which my assumption is a full cycle would be a full rotation like this. So I've decided to do my own experiment. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but this is just a rough estimate. I'm going to jump into a game, Warzone, first-person shooter, which is using a lot of the joystick, a lot. And I'm going to time and to see how many cycles I'm going to make in 1 minute. And from there, we could do some math and figure out how long will it take for 2 million cycles. So for each time I make a rotation of a joystick 180 degrees, this will be a half. And if I do another 180, this will be a full cycle. For this experiment, I'm going to play Warzone for 1 minute and I'm going to try to count the full rotations of each joystick. And after playing for a full minute, on the right stick, I counted 22 full rotations and 28 full rotations on the left stick. And I did the same thing for another minute so I could average out the numbers. And for the second minute, I counted 21 rotations on the right stick and 27 rotations on the left stick. And if you're a sweaty player, you could multiply that by 10. So the right stick averaged out to around 21 full rotations for both minutes. So we're going to take the 21 rotations and multiply that by 60 minutes, which comes out to 1,260 rotations per hour. Divide that into 2 million and we come out to 1,587 hours. Potentially, that's how much hours it's going to take you to reach to 2 million full rotations, which I think is a little far-fetched. But based on that experiment, this is what comes up. And for the left stick, it comes out to about 1,234 hours. That's about playing 3.5 hours per day for the full year to get stick drift. Now, these numbers, so now for the fun part, we're gonna get our hands dirty, take this controller, open it up, get to the joystick and figure out the stick drift and see if we could actually fix it. But first, let's do a quick test to figure out the stick drift and which axis it's on. Okay, so let's get this controller tested real quick to see what's going on. All right, so at first it looks okay, but as soon as we make a move on the joystick, we see that this is pulling to the left. So this will not be playable in the game. So the stick drift is on the right controller and it's on this axis. So it's to the left and right, not up and down. So we're going to just take a note of that, and I'm just going to identify that this is the stick with the stick drift so we don't get confused once we open up. To open the controller, we just need like a prying tool to get inside here. Now I can tell that this is a first generation controller. It does have a lot of wear on it. As you can see, the dirt, the joystick are worn out, so this does have a lot of miles on it. So I'm pretty sure that this stick is over 2 million cycles. But we'll open it up and we will actually see what's going on there. So then we have like a little screwdriver here to get these two bolts on the bottom. It's fairly easy to open it. I know I've done some other videos on the stick drift and people were saying, oh, I'm not going to open this controller up, it's too much work. But in reality, come on guys, come on man, it's not that much work. If you want to get something done, you have to do the work. It's not going to get the work done for you. So we just get these, and I could see that these screws, it seems like it's been opened already. Get this one out, this one out. Okay, this thing's broken here, so yeah. This thing has some usage on it. Once we're here, we could take the battery out. There's this screw here that's holding the battery case. Let's just get it out. I'm gonna lift this out from the placement. Get one ribbon cable out. This one right here. We're gonna get this ribbon cable out. This tiny one right here. We're gonna take it out. And we're gonna take this one out right here. And that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace these real quick, since I have a pair that's much better condition. So as I mentioned, this is the one with the problem. And as we said, the stick drift is on this axis. So if we check, the potentiometer is moving on this one. So this controls left and right. And when we go up and down, it doesn't move because the up and down moves here. What is going on there? As you can see, there's a lot of dust that's been built up in this controller as well. So yeah, this needs some cleaning to do, and I think it may work. So let's try to clean this up. I have a spare module right here, and I just wanted to show you guys how this operates. As you can see, it's pretty cheap. You could buy these from China on AliExpress for a couple dollars. And I'm just surprised that Sony and other manufacturers are using these, because they do wear out pretty quickly and give you problems. Now, a lot of the consumers don't fix these. They just go out and they buy new controllers, and there's just more revenue for Sony, for Microsoft, right? So a lot of third-party controllers started implementing Hall effect joysticks, which use magnets instead of these potentiometers that wear out. So let's just open them up, and I'll just show you how this works. So when you're moving your joystick up and down like this, you see this little red little bracket, it rotates. So that bracket is in here, so when it rotates, it moves this left and right. Now if we take out this white wiper out, we will see that there's a metal track here. And on top of this track, there's a little indentation. This is the indentation that makes contact with this carbon track. And that just basically sends out electricity, a voltage, and it rides on this carbon track, and it positions the joystick accordingly. So what happens over time, this carbon track here, it could get dirty, it could get debris inside of it, and it could have imperfection. And what also can happen is this carbon track will wear out. Since it's making contact all the time, it wears out, similar to how the brakes, the rotors and the brake wear out, and you have to change the rotors. And sometimes you actually have to change this potentiometer, which I made a video, you could check it out. I'm going to link it above on how to do that if your carbon track is dead. Because if your carbon track is worn out, there is really not much cleaning you can do to fix it. So again, this is the left and right. So we're going to work on this potentiometer. We're just going to open it up and see what's going on inside and see how the carbon track is. So we want to just about right there. We don't want to take it out too much, because then that could break the pins, and then we're going to have to take out the soldering iron. So now carefully we want to take out this wiper. Once we have the wiper, we just want to see if everything's okay here, make sure nothing's broken. We're going to put that aside. Now we check the potentiometer to see what's happening in there, and we're going to do some cleaning right now. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to blow some air. If we take a closer look right here, it looks like there may be a little bit of cleaning or something, debris in here. So we want to kind of maybe clean it up a little bit. I have an electronic contact cleaner. I'm going to use this real quick. Just spray it in here. Now you could improvise. What I have here is a little cotton ball. I'm gonna spray it with alcohol, and I'm just gonna go and put it in there. Then I'm gonna try to clean that area that had that debris there, and make sure that none of these fibers get stuck in there. Blow it in there again. So I'm going to take this new module I have, and I'm just going to take the wiper from here, just to make sure that it doesn't have any issues like the other one may have. Because the other one probably had a lot of wear on it. So it's always better to try to put the new product in. So we're going to put it like this with a little metal indentation on top. Okay, now we can just make sure that when you close it, everything is aligned. Okay, it looks good. And you want to make sure it clicks like that. Okay, now I guess let's give it a quick test. Okay, let's see how that looks. So at first glance it looks okay. This one's fine. It looks like it's good. Snaps back to center. Alright guys, there you go. So that's how you fix the stick drift. Hope this was informative. Thank you so much. See you next time.